English 9A. In this video, I am going to be going through how to annotate for signposts for Satchmo's master plan. I'm going to go through kind of the first beginning part of the story to show you how to find annotations and then how to mark them with the highlighting and then do the comments on them as well. I would recommend as you watch this video to have your copy of your Satchmo's master plan story up so that you can highlight and comment the signpost that I'm going to model in here because I'm going to be showing that to you, and then you can do it at the same time. And then once this video is over, you can just continue where we left off. So again, get open your own copy that you have in Google Classroom of Satchmo's master plan. So at the top of this document, you are going to see the little key here that gives all 6 signposts, as well as kind of color coding here. Kind of stick to these kind of colors. You don't have to stick to these shades necessarily, but stick to the specific colors because that's going to help when we're identifying signposts. So I'm going to go ahead and just kind of get started and kind of walking you through the first kind of part of the story. The first signpost that you're going to notice kind of right away is that this whole beginning part is that it's a memory. It's Satchmo's memory of a past of when he was 7 years old and he got bit by a dog named Brutus. And that's kind of this part here. It started back when Satchmo was bit, right? And the dog had taken a chunk out of the back of his leg, left teeth marks that scarred in the shape of a sad face. So this is a memory moment. This whole beginning is actually a memory moment, but this is the part that actually kind of states it, and the part that we're going to focus on for signposts. So once you highlight the kind of signpost that you find, you're going to go up to the highlighting tool, click that, and then memory moment is green. And if you need to remember, it's right up here. Memory moment is green. And then keep it highlighted because then you're going to comment what that means next to it. You're going to comment on the memory moment and just say that it is memory moment for identification in case you can't remember the colors or again, just to make it clearer. So you can go about it 2 ways. You can hit insert and go to comment here. You can do Control-Alt-M if you like doing the short keys as well. That is an option. My way that I like to is I like to right click and then just go to comment. And right clicking on your trackpad for your Chromebook is usually using 2 fingers. If you use 2 fingers here as you highlight, like I will with my trackpad, it should pop up. Then you can just hit comment. Then you can put MM for memory moment, or you can actually type memory moment, whatever is the best way for you to remember which signpost it is. And now we're just going to keep reading again until we can stop and notice another signpost. So the other signpost I found as I was going through is we've got this whole part here about Satchmo never missing a football. He never misses catching a football. But in this moment, he actually does. Okay, that is a contrast. That's something that's kind of out of character for Satchmo. And so if I go up here, contrast is orange. Highlighting tool, click orange, right click to comment, and again, CC for contrast and contradiction, or you can write it in. All right, now we'll keep going. So here we're talking about it's his whole, what happened when Satchmo got his leg. And then, or when Satchmo's trying to get the ball from him, Brutus is trying to get the ball first. Then later Brutus will get his leg. Next, we have, Clancy saying, get the ball. And then we've got some things about Miss Adams here, okay? So Miss Adams is the owner of Brutus. And so we've got some kind of background about her, which maybe helps us get into the idea of the neighborhood that Satchmo lives in. The part that I think is the most interesting is this part here, because it really kind of gets into again and again. And this really helps us kind of figure out a little bit more about Miss Adams, of course, but also Satchmo, because now he has spent so much time thinking about it. He spends a lot of time in his head, clearly. And so I'm not going to do this whole part. I'm going to do part of it, but the fact that he's always imagined inside is like a boxing ring, okay? Maybe she kicked them, elbowed them. So, like, he's thought about this a lot. And again is yellow. And so he's been really imaginative, imagining these moments over and over again of mishaps. So again, you can do AA or again. Okay. And then we'll just keep going through this moment of his past. And as we keep going, right, Sachimo look to make sure she isn't there. And he's like, okay, I'm going to get it. He talks to Brutus and kind of towards the football. And we get Brutus here. We kind of are noticing things that are happening over and over. The yes, 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 no, no, no. I'm happy to see you. I want to play. We play different games, right? Like it's kind of like a back and forth between these two. A little bit of like his again his mind of what he's having a conversation with his dog in his mind, and it is again and again he's really kind of overthinking this, thinking it through. Okay. You will notice another again and again here. These ones are a little more obvious when you see a lot of words repeated. Wag, 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 right? Panting, jumping, jumping, barking. I'm going to mark it because I think it is important just to notice as many as you can. Whether this helps us figure out Sachimo and like his character and what makes him interesting. We don't know yet, but it's good to mark it just in case because it helps us and we have more to choose from when we get to that point. The last piece that I'm going to go over, the last signpost, is right at the end of this memory because this memory is going to end right at the end here. And it's about Satchmo's name. So Satchmo is named after Louis Armstrong, who is a famous jazz musician. Feel free to look him up if you want to kind of get an idea of that person. He has a pretty big mouth for singing and playing his trumpet. And that's actually where Satchmo apparently gets his nickname from, his satchel mouth. But when you see the words like however or but or instead, a lot of times that's a clear indication of contrast. So even though Satchmo is nicknamed for having a big mouth, he actually doesn't have a big mouth. Okay. But in the moment here, we're figuring out, oh, he actually does have a big mouth because he in the sense of like he can make it sound really, really loud because he was so scared running away. And again, that is orange because we scroll back up here. It is a contrast and contradiction. So I'm going to make that orange, comment, either CC or contrasts and contradictions. All right, so that's where I'm going to end because again, now we've got 4 years later. Sachimo is 11. They've moved from his old neighborhood to a different neighborhood now, but he still has the memory of Brutus and that dog kind of story. So he's still a little, he's scarred from that moment back when he was 7. So this is where you are going to pick up. If you haven't been doing the signposts and color coding at the beginning of this story, as I've been going over it, I'd pause and check out what needs to be highlighted right now so you can have this as a reference point. Okay, you're going to want to have these in your own copy. So make sure to do that. And then once this video is over, go ahead and stop the video and continue to find your signposts using the key at the top for color coding and then comment for each one that you highlight. This will be graded, but it's going to be graded on particularly the quality of like finding signposts and correctly identifying them, and that you're actually looking through the entire story. There may be spaces where you don't see any, and that's totally fine. But there are a lot peppered throughout here, and there's at least one signpost for each one. So again, do your best to walk yourself through this. We will go over it, but this will be graded as well. Again, that you're actually attempting to find as many signposts as you can. As always, let me know what questions you may have and go ahead and get started and continue working on your signposts.